KKK, the Ku Klux Klan, is still alive today in our country. They're alive in a big way. Not just in our police force, shedding the sheets directly and just carrying out the same acts, but also in our legislation, in our speakers, in our president. I'm talking today about how the KKK's rhetoric and actions have not gone away, and they've just shifted forms. Now we need to take notice. We need to take note, for it's too late. First of all, the rhetoric. Modern day conservative politicians have literally taken almost exact quotes from the KKK. He's talking about the Great Replacement. It's the same thing as Grand Wizard David Duke mentioned, saying that whites are getting replaced. And then they need to fight for their race, otherwise they'll get replaced, and otherwise there'll be a mass white genocide. This is the same exact piece of rhetoric. They're saying that they don't care about Americans, and that they just care about giving immigrants handouts or whatever. Yet again, they're trying to cause a separation. They're trying to cause an us versus them so that they can rally people behind them. You don't need 50 million fans. You need 5 million people fucking pissed. That is what you need. And Trump as well. He's trying to say there's racial discrimination against white people. That's the same thing the KKK has been saying for decades. He's saying that you're a second-class citizen because you're white. How stupid can you be, genuinely? It's so obvious, saying that white people have to go to the back of the line now. White people, second-class citizens, is an old rhetoric. There's dual citizenship. Saying that white people are treated lesser. The black and brown people are now elevated. It's the same thing as what was said, honestly, in the 1890s, I believe, in the 1880s, for the Supreme Court. Saying that people of color need to stop being need to be the secret, or need to stop being the favorite, I should say, of the law. They need to stop being the favorite of the law and be treated the same as everyone else. They've been saying these things for the last 100 years, over the last century. And Tucker Carlson literally, and yes, I'm using the word literally in the actual definition, literally took a quote from the KKK member saying, quote, "How is diversity your strength?" They were saying in the exact same order of words, in the exact same order of letters, how is diversity our strength? And there's also these stupid arguments saying that, oh, because the Democratic Party was a part of the KKK, now they're the ones doing it. Just because it was like this 150 years ago doesn't mean it can't change. It's a lot harder to change a people than it is to change an abstract concept. It's a lot easier to change the parties than it is to change who votes what in those places. It's the reason the South is still the deep racist South. Because it's a lot harder to change that than to just change what party they affiliate with. That is easy. You can just say overnight you change that. Changing the actual people, changing the people takes centuries, generations to do. That is why. And they try to say that the Southern Switch did not happen. There is so much proof of it. On top of all of this, a KKK member endorsed Donald Trump. He was literally endorsing him. We may have shed the sheets of the KKK, but they're still alive today. Even Malcolm X said this in the 60s. He was saying in the 60s how the police are just the new KKK. How we know it's any different now? I've been hearing other activists. I've heard black activists say that they shed the sheets of the KKK and they're just now police officers. They just don the blue. Things haven't changed, and we need to actually change things before things can change. We need to stop Trump. We need to make sure he's not president. He's literally being charged with crimes that have to do with the Ku Klux Klan Act of the 1870s. He's being charged with those. Because of what he did on January 6th, he's now being charged for crimes related to the Ku Klux Klan. His incitement of a riot, his incitement of an insurrection. And before I go, I just want to give you one final quote, one final piece of knowledge that I've found. This knowledge, it comes from Germany. It comes from Goering. And I quote, "It's always a simple matter to drag the people along, whether it is a democracy or a fascist dictatorship, or a parliament, or a communist dictatorship. All you have to do is tell them they are being attacked, tell them they're being replaced, and denounce the pacifists for lack of patriotism and exposing the country to danger. It works the same in every country.